Hello, my pickled snowflakes, no matter what club members and Goldilocks. Here we are, just finishing up my cuppa of Wicked Italian, Wicked Joe's Italian. Pretty good. Well, I thought a great topic today would be accountability because it's never a bad idea to just be reminded of how it all comes down to you, to me, and your own self accountability. Yes, it's nice if we can be accountable to somebody else. That matters a lot too. But really, at the end of the day, when nobody else is looking, did you take care of yourself? Did you mind your P's and Q's, peas and carrots? Did you follow whatever program PRAM, that's program and plan put together? Did you follow whatever program and plan you put in place for the day? So at the end of the day, you can say, yes, I get that gold star on the refrigerator. I did it. I took care of myself. I met all my silly little goals that it doesn't matter to anybody else. Doesn't matter to the person putting gas in your car, which could be you. It doesn't matter to the person shopping for you, which could be you. It doesn't matter to anybody at the end of the day if you drank enough water, got enough sleep, prepared the foods that you planned, and ate them, and stayed abstinent in your lane. It matters to you. It matters to me, of course, and it matters to, other people in your keto world that you are one more example of how it works. But you know what I mean, being accountable to you. And it's such a great feeling to put your head on the pillow and saying to yourself, I did it. I did one more day of what it is that I do, and I feel great. I'm not doing wonky things. I'm not doing crazy behavior. I'm not hopping on and off of the scale as if it's still the life determinant of what you are and what you mean in the world. You are just doing your program, your own program. It may include things that aren't that necessarily keto or wouldn't necessarily be what somebody else that's doing keto would do, but it works for you, and that is what matters, right? I know that, over the years, I've changed up my program a lot. I've reached maintenance. I weighed myself a couple of days ago. I'm still in that maintenance zone. I'm very, very happy. As I often say, I weigh less than I weighed in the third grade, so I feel ahead of my game. So I'm happy, and I've got the honesty pants, which are my jeans that I wear every day when I do my shopping. And I also have the scale once a month just to make sure, not to be driven insane, but just make sure. And I know that a lot of us hope to be accountable to ourselves. I think that if you are conscious of your self accountability, it is a big deal. And to get to that big deal, to come out of the woods, to come out of the denial place that a lot of us have been for a long, long time, maybe since the beginning of COVID. Here we are at the month anniversary or year anniversary, excuse me, of COVID. And a lot of us had our lives, our diet, our program, our accountability completely thrown to the wind. And, will life ever be how it was? Who knows? But a lot of us got really triggered, jiggered, thrown with the having to be at home. Maybe we can't shop as often. Maybe we rely on somebody else to do that for us. And so things aren't always the way that maybe we were a Goldilocks about. Maybe we had to give up some of those things. But as the world eases up a bit, maybe you were able to regain your juju of the structure, the discipline, and the self accountability. A lot of people make themselves accountable to me here in personal messages And I always put my email address down in the, beginning of all of this. So if you did need to contact me, so a lot of people commit their accountability to me as well as to themselves. I know that when I began in Overeaters Anonymous, that was the whole deal. I called my sponsor, my OA sponsor, every single morning and gave her my food, committed my food, and it was written down and I'd read it off to her. This is all pre-computer and internet and everything else. So I'd tell her exactly what I was having. She kind of was my co-sponsor and she would do the same to me. The 8 ounces of green beans, the 6 ounces of ground beef, that whole thing. We would commit to each other what we were going to have. And there was something very magical about committing the food plan, giving the food plan away, as we called it, every day. And so then they had face-to-face Overeaters Anonymous meetings in the basement of this bank, and we would meet there once a week, and it began my serious journey into becoming aware of food. That was in the 1970s. So 50 something years ago, and or 40 something years ago, and it worked. And I never lost the tips and tricks that I learned and began to practice back then. So I still practice a lot of the things that people would roll their eyes at, that those normies that don't pay attention to what they're having. And I still do them today. I don't eat when I'm standing up. I don't do appetizers. I don't snack. I don't stick my finger on something and do all of that. And I think that, each part of the journey that stuck in my routine, my program, has benefited me along the way to get to the totally clean intermittent fasting that really was my game changer a few months ago when I began to do it. I lost the carnivore poundage that I put on, and my body really got pretty firm and solid. And I love that. I don't know what the magic is to just having the just black, please, coffee and the plain water, but it worked. And then having my OMAD, so whatever I'm having, no matter what the food items are, it comes in that window of eating. I don't do a big window where I have a couple of meals. I do that one sit down meal and then you're done. As I say, you're done. I go and I floss and I water pick and I just do my dental oral hygiene, and that's it for the day. My body knows it's done, girly. Oh, how I miss Mike wherever he is. Yep, that was the girly part. We did the Girly and the Cowboy series. Many of you remember that. So keto works for me, and it works for most of you. And a lot of you have tried all the other crazy diets or even some of the sane diets. But there's a whole group of people out there that feel if they're paying some organization each week or month, that they feel more accountable. And so they got to get their money's worth. It's kind of like the gym thing. If Planet Fitness had all the people that signed up and had the money debited from their accounts every week or month show up, there wouldn't be enough space, even if there was no social distancing going on. They count on you paying and not showing up. And a lot of these food plans do the same thing. I know that, I did find some success with the Weight Watchers program when I did it. It still points today, but they've changed it around, as many of you know. But some of us want that corporation, that corporate entity that we pay to hold us accountable. Does it work for some? Yeah, of course it does. It's what works for you that matters. And so some people use keto coaches. Some people are in keto groups on Facebook. And so, I tend to follow the clean intermittent fasting. I listen to podcasts that are done. I sometimes go on the Facebook, but it seems to Facebook does a number on my computer. But so I really don't like to have that up and running. But I get my information from those sort of places. I did order the Mark Sisson 2 Mad book that's due out soon, and I look forward to reading what he has. I love his work because he talks like how he writes, so I feel like I'm sitting there with him while he talks. And so being self accountable is huge. And for some of us, it's just like one layer too shy of like what works. It's it's like I need to commit my food, my life, my program to another keto person just so there's somebody out there that gets what I'm doing and can validate me. And I so understand that. So that's why I do a lot of that here, as well as, on my email, my Gmail, my Parker's Posey 28 at gmail.com. So life is good. It's working. Keto is just something that's been in my life. I had that bit of a time with carnivore, but that wasn't for me. I missed my veggies, and so I'm back. It's back. I do the clean intermittent fasting with one meal a day. So a lot of what I do is just, it's magic to me after decades of always being just a little too overweight, just a little bit of a little bit of an overeating problem. Yeah, right. Uh, at the trough. That was me. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Self accountability, is it something that you're working on? Have a grand day. Thanks for being here. Bye bye for now.